Happy New Year, YouTube friends. How you doing? Hang on, I gotta get rid of this hat. Much better. Happy New Year, YouTube friends. How you doing? Thanks for joining me again. And with the arrival of the new year, January 1st marks the 6-month anniversary of us having our Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus. And I just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update and tell you what our life has been like over the last 6 months owning this car. First of all, we've put almost 16,500 kilometers on the car since we bought it. It has changed the way we drive our cars. So how we decide who gets to drive the Tesla to and from work or on their errands that day is simple math. Whoever has further to go gets the Tesla, and whoever just has to go to their destination and come back home in a simple run, they have to take the RAV4. That's if we both have somewhere to go. We pride ourselves on having what we call 0 gas days in the house, and if we can get away with both of us using the car that day and the RAV doesn't move, that's a perfect day for us. Something else that's cool with the Teslas, and you all know this if you're a Tesla fan, is the car gets better as you owned it. We've owned it for 6 months. I think we've gotten 5 updates. I've kind of lost track. Some of the updates we've got is like the version 10 update that had like new games like Cuphead and chess over the last couple months. We now have YouTube and Netflix in the cars. Not to be said, the improvements to autopilot and the operating system that makes it easier to use and navigate around. Most recently, we received the update that allowed the Tesla to have access to your phone text messages. This is something that Apple and Android have been doing for years and years and years, and it's about time that a Tesla can do the same thing that a Ford Escort can do, right? We've also received a 5% acceleration boost for no reason, which is just kind of fun. And that doesn't even include the upgrades to like the wipers and everything else that happens here. Like the car continues to get better 6 months after delivery, and how awesome is that, right? So now I'd just like to underline some of the features that we got with the car that we absolutely love. And some of the stuff was expected and some was not expected. So first thing I want to talk about, a feature that has changed our lives, is autopilot. We only drive 25 kilometers, and it's on most of it's on a 2-lane highway here in Prince Edward Island. It's not super highways, but you know what? Hearing that little bum bum and putting the car in autopilot and letting it do the drive home is absolutely awesome. I work late at nights a lot. I just put the car in autopilot and it'll take me there. Of course, I'm still alert and watching for any conflicts or anything that may arise as I'm driving, but it does take like 15 or 20% of the stress off. Another thing I absolutely love about the car is the easy access with your phone as the key. I love just being able to walk up to a locked car, open the door, and get in, put my belt on, and go. Same thing with the trunk. You walk up with your arms full of stuff, the car recognizes your phone is there. When you press to unlock the trunk, it opens for you, no problem. That is absolutely awesome. Same reverse when you leave the car. All you do is you pull in a parking spot, put it in park, take off your seatbelt, get out of the car, and go. It'll turn off the lights. It'll lock the car for you. It's not often. As a matter of fact, I think you can even walk out without putting in brake. I think the car recognizes if you leave if you don't put it in gear, which that's pretty cool too. Another cool feature with the car is the supercharging. Although we don't have any superchargers here in Prince Edward Island yet, having supercharging stations in Einfeld and Allack and Salisbury on the mainland is absolutely awesome. Think about this for a second, all you gasoline people out there. You're driving along, you know there's a gas station up there somewhere, but you're not exactly sure, right? We'll pull over the next time we see a gas station. This, I program it into the computer in the car, and the map, it takes me there. It knows where to go. So that takes the guesswork out of when I'm going to get energy for my car. Next thing I love about owning a Tesla is the home charging. Home charging is awesome because you always leave home with enough energy to get you where you're going on any given day. No more stopping at the gas station, no more looking for a gas station, and no more worrying about when and where you're going to fill up or find stuff, right? I leave the house, I know I've got the charging. Charging at home is absolutely awesome, super convenient. So now I'm going to talk about a couple of things that kind of drive me batty with the Tesla, and let's just say these are minor issues. I totally take it with ownership of the car, it's no problem. But these are the things that do kind of drive me nuts. First off is the GPS. I've learned not to trust it. I've been on a main highway going to Halifax, and it's told me to get off the highway, do a loop, and then come back on the highway. I don't understand that at all. In Charlottetown, for example, it will show me 5 different ways to get to a certain destination every time I travel. It's really, really weird. I just don't trust it. If I'm going somewhere I don't know where I'm going, I look on my phone to get a map and get the general idea of where I'm going. For example, one of my first trips coming back from Aulac is I know that I just got to leave straight out of Aulac, drive right over to the bridge on Highway 15, I think it is, and I get home. But the GPS wanted me to go onto the main highway and then come back off the main highway and then go on the same route. So it's really, really weird. I don't understand how the software computes your destination. Is it based on time? Is it based on distance? I don't know. It'd be great if they could tweak that, because it's really irritating. And we're taking a big trip soon, and I want to make sure that I have peace of mind when using the GPS. Something else that kind of bothers me with the car, and I'm sure this is just specific to people like me who live in rural areas, well, with poor internet connections. For example, it'll update the maps. The day after the Einfeld, Nova Scotia supercharger went live, it was on my car, which is great because it now knows a new place to charge. I wasn't given access to an update to that. The car will do updates on its own. And when you have rural internet like ours, where the internet is poor at best, I find it's after someone comes home and parks the internet will just absolutely crash here. It goes super, super slow. It's worse than 90s dial-up. You can't do anything on any device in the house because the car is sucking up all the internet. I wish there was a way where I could set any minor updates to do like in the middle of the night. I don't think it's that hard. You just set it so accept updates after 2 a.m. or something like that. That'd be great, right? When everyone's asleep and no one's using the internet. There's nothing worse when I'm trying to watch football on Sunday and the car starts to update something and I can't watch the end of the football games or whatever, right? Another issue I'm kind of having with the car, and this is probably specific just to areas with bad climates, is that I'm constantly cleaning the car, and it's not because I'm vain and I want a shiny car. It's because all the cameras and the sensors around it need to be cleaned at all times to operate correctly. I don't know how many times I've gotten into the car and started driving and it says that one of the sensors is inoperable because it's covered with dirt, or the rear view camera is backed up because I forgot to wipe it off. And I've kind of gotten into a habit now of just starting to walk around the car and clean it up before I go. But sometimes you don't always remember that, and it's too late when you're driving unless you want to pull over, which I guess you could do. So that's one of the downsides of a car with a bunch of cameras and that helps a lot of cool technologies, that you got to maintain it. I'm sure people who live in warmer regions without snow and salt and sand and schmutz might be easier on them. But for us here in colder climates, that's a bit of an inconvenience. But really, those are the only things I can think of that I don't like about the car. The car is still awesome. I absolutely love it. I'd buy another one in a second if I could. Fingers crossed for a referral to win a Model Y, or maybe a Cybertruck. Who knows? So, in closing, like I said, love the car. It is so cliche to say this car has changed our lives, but this car has changed our lives. It's absolutely awesome. It's totally wicked. Elon and Franz, your team did a great job. We're super excited to take this trip down to Orlando to see the theme parks, and it's going to be an adventure finding the supercharging and finding hotels with charging stuff, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's pretty much my update after 6 months. I'll say thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for liking, subscribing if you've done so. If not, you know what to do with the stuff down there. I'm not sure what side it's on there. Every other new subscriber and like that I get, I really appreciate it. Every single one of you guys. So that's it for me. I'm going to go back and start off my new year. Take care, everybody. See ya.